Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to update tasks. Notice that I have the upgrade project S2.3 file open. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to look into the details of tasks. The first thing you do is select the task that you want to look into, the details of it, and you're going to double click on that task. And what you get is the task information window with several tasks, several tabs in it, where you can peek into all the details of a task. We're not going to be learning every single one in this session, but I'm going to go over a couple of them. I'm going to click on cancel. The second way of looking into the details of a task is by selecting the task first, then right click on it and selecting the information icon. And notice that 3 dots means that something is going to come up after you click on that icon. And that something is the task information window. Notice again, click on cancel. The third way is by selecting the task first, then the task tab. Then on the properties group, you have again the information icon, which also when you hover, it displays a fourth way of accessing the information window, and that is through the Shift F2, which we will do next. So let's click on it first, and that should open again the information window. We're going to click on cancel, and the last way is by selecting Shift F2. And there is the task information window. Here, you will notice the duration, 1 day, and the question mark, which is the same day that you have up here on the duration. And notice that the estimated little box in here is checked. That is because of the question mark. That means I have not overridden the 1 day duration that Microsoft gives me. And that's an indicator for project managers to know that you have not touched that particular duration cell to update the duration of a task. Notice the percent of completion for the task is 0% because we have not started yet documenting percent completions. Notice the schedule mode for that task is auto selected because I have the task mode here of auto selected. The start and finish dates, which are the same up here, the start and finish dates. We're going to ignore the other ones, but just a very quick one in here. Notice that display on timeline. If you remember, we got rid of the timeline for now because we will not need it. And basically, that timeline is used so that you can add certain tasks to show up on the timeline. Basically, what you do is you select a requirements or a milestone, in particular milestones, to show up on the timeline. But we will discuss more about that later. So I'm going to click OK here. Okay, so the next piece is how to update a task without the task information. Because on the task information, again, if we double click, we can just rename the task name. So I'm going to show you another way of doing that. You can do that by selecting the entry bar up here and overriding or renaming the task name. Another way is by selecting the F2 key. So when you select the F2 key on your keyboard, I'm going to do it one more time, F2, notice that the task turns into task mode, and then at the bottom of the screen it says edit. It doesn't say ready anymore. As soon as I click on OK, notice the ready again at the bottom of the window. And notice that it also indicates that the new tasks that you create are going to be automatically scheduled as you learned before, because the mode up here is auto schedule. All right, so in order to update a task in terms of the task name, what you do is you select F2. I'm going to do that one more. I'm going to get out of the edit. I'm going to select F2 on the keyboard, and notice now I have the edit mode. We're going to click on enter. Another way of updating a task is by clicking on it 2 times very slowly. 1, 2. See that? It turns into edit. And then from here, once you are in edit mode, you can select the home, click on the home key on your keyboard. That takes you to the beginning. You can select the end to take you to the end. You can select Control left to take you one word at a time, Control right to take you one word at a time to the right. Okay, I'm gonna just select enter here. The next feature is I'm gonna show you how to add a comment or a note for a task. So we're gonna select the define all requirements task in here, and similar to the project summary task that has a note in here, we're gonna learn how to do that. So the first thing is we're going to select the task information window, right? Remember the 4 ways of selecting the task information window. Double click on the task, right click on the task and selecting information, or selecting the taskbar and select information icon in the properties group, or selecting just Shift F2, which I'm going to do now. And there you go. Notice that by default you have the general tab selected. If you click on the notes tab, that will give you the space for you to type in a note for a task. And this is what the project managers would do. They would write notes for corresponding tasks. So I'm going to type in something like need to define all the house requirements, including paint color for every room, wood type, etc. Okay, as soon as I click OK, you will notice the same yellow icon appearing on task with row number 2. There you go. Now you can see the notes icon. Now I'm going to show you how to delete tasks. To delete tasks, all you do is click on the row and you would click on the delete key on your keyboard. I'm going to click on delete, but then I'm going to do undo, Control Z, or just click on the undo icon. Another way of deleting a task is by selecting the task tab, selecting the clipboard group, and selecting the cut command. You can also copy or move tasks to a new location by selecting the row ID of the task and just selecting cut, placing the cursor right where you want that task to appear, and then selecting paste. Right, so cut or copy and paste. Okay, now to add some formatting to a task, what you would do is from the same task tab, you would select the font group. You're going to click on this background color, and you can just apply any color you want. You can also select more colors, and you will get this particular window, the colors window, where you can again manipulate the colors by selecting any colors that you want and selecting OK, or by going to the custom tab here, selecting the color that you would like to use, then selecting the shading up or down. Okay, so that's another way of adding some formatting to a task or multiple tasks. Last, what you're going to do is save the project, or the file, I would say, or on project, save as, go to the browse, and we're going to give it the same name, but in this case it's going to be called .3.1. just to preserve the previous settings that we made in the previous file. Thank you for watching.